this is going to be an interesting one because I had an idea. And not only is it an interesting thought experiment in the world of music, it's a legal thought experiment as well. So I don't know if you guys have seen, but they seemingly multiply overnight. There are, at first, what were a handful, now tens and 20s, and now 50s and hundreds, and soon to be thousands of channels that are creating AI covers of existing material. And I'm not a complete hater. Some of them actually sound fantastic. They're not really high fidelity. You know, AI hasn't figured out the whole high fidelity thing yet, so you can tell it's a little And I'll be honest, I don't know the method behind it entirely, but in general, they're creating versions of older songs in different genres. Now, there used to be people on YouTube, like Anthony, what's that guy's name? Is just one that comes to mind, who actually took the time and did that. They would take like a Backstreet Boys song and do it in the style of Korn or something. There's many channels out there that try that. There's a few that are really, really good, and they're really big. They probably have millions of followers. I don't know off the top of my head, but I know they're very popular. Well, those people's livelihoods are being threatened by the technology where now somebody who has almost no musical ability whatsoever can prompt something like Suno or whatever it's called and get it to spit out a version of a song that everybody loves in a different style. And it could be like some of the ones that I've seen that I actually find interesting and enjoy would be like The Power of Love in the style of 2000s rock. And I actually quite like the new metal ones. And I'm not trying to be critical of the creator. Again, I put quotes around that because I think what they're doing actually is interesting to some degree. But I mean, let's be honest here. It's a gray area. I don't quite know how I feel about it, if I'm being honest, on an ethical level. And so I thought of something. So I came across a version that one of these channels did. His channel is Reimagined AI Rock. It's already up to 24,000 subscribers. And out of all the channels that I've come across, this guy, girl, whoever is behind this team of prompters, let's call them, I like their creations the best. So I guess that's a backhanded shout out. I'm not trying to pick a fight or anything. I'm genuinely curious what everybody feels about this because it's a unique topic. It's something that has only existed now, so there's no precedent for it. And so anyway, I say all this because I heard a version of something he released earlier today, I think, and it's the Brian McKnight song called Anytime, and he called it Rock Reimagined, and it's in the style of like pop rock with a metal twist, kind of. I don't know. I'll let you hear it. I'll play a little bit of it. And I quite like the drums in it, like the drum pattern and everything that AI generated. So, using AI tools that we have at our disposal, what I did is I used the app Downy, and I ripped the audio out of the YouTube video that this person posted, and then I pulled it into Logic, and I used the stem separator to separate the stems in the AI recreation of the song. And then, of course, you see where this is going. Now, my whole idea behind that is to then either recreate the drums using, like, Studio Drummer, for example, because, again, the audio itself is degraded not only from it being an AI recording, but also because it's been stem separated, and you lose a little bit of quality with that. And so it's either to recreate the drums using something like Superior Drummer, like MIDI, or, I don't know, maybe just use the original drum recordings separated and write a whole new song to it. And it raises a really interesting logical question, right? So if we think about like copyright law and the way that it works, and again, I'm not a lawyer by any stretch of the imagination. My father was, and so I learned a lot from him, and I've also looked into it quite a bit. As a musician, a producer, I do know a little bit about it, but again, not legal advice, and if I get something wrong, in fact, you should expect that I get something wrong. You should expect it. But basically, I mean, doing a cover song is not against the law, right? Not anymore. With services like DistroKid, CD Baby, all these, you can cover a song, and through one of those services, you can purchase a license that gives you the right to release the song. And then all you have to do is pay a royalty to the song owner, which is most of the money, by the way. But it's interesting. There's different ways you can own a song, right? So if I write a song, then I own that song. If I record the song, I own the recording of the song, and that's two separate things. I think the recording of the song is called, and then there's the song itself, which is the copyright. And so, again, don't quote me, but I do know that there's two separate entities. You own the song, and then you can own the recording of the song. So if you re-record a song or cover of a song, you own that recording of the song, the recording, but you don't own the song itself. So you're able to release the recording that you own, but you have to pay a royalty or a license fee, essentially, to the person, the songwriter or the label or the publishing company or some combination of those three, whatever the ownership percentage split is. You have to pay them the majority of the money because they own the song, right? So in this instance, if somebody's uploading something that AI, reimagined, then they release it, then you have to think, okay, wait, but this can't work the same way, because the person who prompted Suno, let's just assume, in this case, to create the new cover song, they didn't actually write the song. There was no artistic input into the song. So, like, for example, it'd be really simple, like here. So let's say I have a painter here in front of me, and I buy a blank canvas, and I say, hey, bud, paint me a mountain, use blue and purple. I don't know what art style, but just basically, no, I want it in Gothic. Do it in Gothic. I don't even know art styles enough to make this analogy interesting. But yeah, I want it in Gothic. Make it like a mountain and a stream. The sun can be there, and a tree. Go ahead. And the guy paints it, and it's a beautiful painting. And I take the painting, and I go around and say, hey, everybody, look at this painting I made. Aren't I amazing? Isn't it beautiful? Like, I guess I could own the paint. It's just strange to me. I didn't do anything. I prompted said artist to do it. Except in my example with the painter, there's actually a person responsible for putting paint on canvas. In this instance, it's an AI piece of software that did it, right? But in no world is the guy who said, hey, paint this, the guy who created the painting. You get what I'm saying? So it's really confusing when we boil it down, or what you could say is it's really confusing when we try to apply modern day, or I guess I could say what's been copyright law for the past however long to this, because this is unprecedented. It's like nothing we've ever seen before. This has never been an issue before. And then you get into the whole logistics of like, well, what is this AI being trained on? And when you say, hey, give me this song in the style of Nickelback, and then it spits something out, sounds just like Nickelback. Well, it obviously listened to Nickelback and referenced their catalog, right? So should they be entitled to some of the royalties? Probably, right? I mean, it's a train wreck legally. I know lawyers are probably fighting about these things constantly, and there's a lot of money involved. It's a very deep topic that we could just go down the huge rabbit hole on. But in this instance, it's interesting because I like some of these songs. In this instance, I like the drums. So like, okay, if I am ripping the drums out of the song, let's say I create a song that goes big using the drums that I separated out of the AI song that was a cover of a 90s song, and then I reimagined it just using the drum recording that the prompter didn't actually have any artistic input in. Like, can the prompter sue me? You see what I'm saying? It's insane. And anyway, again, I'm not trying to be a hater at all. Like I said, like some of the stuff that I've heard. There's a really big song in this world of like AI reimaginings. I don't know the channel that did it, but you maybe come across it if you're into music at all on YouTube, and I'm sure clips of it have been on TikTok and Instagram and stuff. But there was an Eminem song in the style of, yes, Without Me. Eminem's Without Me. This one is a Motown soul cover. Where are we at with this one now? This has 4.2 million views. So like, I'm so curious, who's making money off of this? We know the original songwriters or whoever owns the rights to the song. So presumably part of that's Eminem or his label and publishing company, right? They're earning, I would assume, the ad revenue from this. But is like the person who prompted Suno earning anything from this? And if so, why? It's insane to me. But anyway, maybe you've heard this one. Obviously, a lot of people have at 4.2 million.
A little bit of me mixed with some hard liquor, some vodka that'll jumpstart my heart quicker than a shock when I get shot at the hospital by the doctor when I'm not cooperating. When I'm rocking the table while he's operating. Hey, you waited this long to stop debating, cause I'm back, I'm on the. I know that you got a job, Miss Cheney, but your husband's heart problem's complicating, so the FCC won't let me be, or let me be me, so let me see. They try to shut me down on MTV, but it feels so empty without me.
Anyway, it's crazy. The song's fantastic. Honestly, it's really cool. It's really cool. It's a cool thing that would have never existed before. But here's another thought experiment that's crazy. What if you ask Suno to create a cover song in whatever genre you want, and it does, and then you, as an actual musician, learn all of the parts and re-record note for note the reimagined version. You sing every note, you do all of that, and you release that as your cover, okay? Are you plagiarizing the cover? You see what I'm saying? Like, and what's to stop somebody from doing that? And I say that because some of these covers are really, really cool. So what's to stop like a rock cover band from learning the song, re-recording it, actually recording it, and releasing it as their cover version? Like, why wouldn't they be able to do that? Is the person who prompted Suno going to sue them and say, I own that recording when they didn't create it? How can they do that? Anyway, interesting stuff, guys. If you're in the music world, hopefully if you're seeing this, you have an opinion on it of some sort. Drop some stuff in the comments. I'm really curious to know what everyone's thoughts are on this, because I think it's here to stay. I've heard stories of songwriters in LA and Nashville, New York, that are using these in writing sessions, using AI in writing sessions. I don't know if they're using Suno yet. Possibly. It wouldn't surprise me. But they're certainly using it to write lyrics and things like that. So anyway, super interesting stuff. Drop a comment. Let me know what you guys think. And for those of us who love music and love producing music, we're going to continue to do it because we love to do it. And I do think ultimately the world is going to grow tired of this AI stuff. It might take 10, 15, 20 years, but ultimately people will start to yearn for authenticity. You start to see it now. Like, people are just overloaded. People are bringing back and refurbishing their old iPods so they can download full albums and listen to them again because they're tired of being inundated with streaming. And so there already is kind of this culture shift with people reverting back to older times and analog, so to speak. So I think this will actually escalate that, because people are just it's gonna be cool. The novelty of it will be interesting for a period of time, and then people are gonna say, "Man, just give me back real music, real musicians, real heart and soul." And I think a lot of people are speculating this will hurt the live music industry. I think it's gonna help, because yes, people are going to yearn for authenticity, and they're going to want to go see actual live musicians perform. So, but I don't know. I could be wrong. These are all just opinions and thoughts that I've had. So share yours with me in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, keep creating, keep writing, keep singing, keep playing. Okay, bye.